Now, something else, we have a lot to talk about with weather today, and we could all use some of that sunshine. I will be announcing tonight's Bonk Bucks winner shortly, but right now we're kicking off Storm Shield Weather Week. Storm Shield is our new brand for Fox 47, along with We Say Yes to Michigan, and we're celebrating with some weather safety tips and trivia all week long. First, weather radar. It's an invaluable tool we use every day monitoring and forecasting, but there's actually kind of a lot of weather that it can't see. Meteorologist Jason Meyers gives us a look.
Doppler radar.
Doppler 4000 on News Channel.
As I was saying, Doppler radar works by sending radio waves into the atmosphere. Those waves bounce off of raindrops, giving us an image of the incoming weather.
The most advanced Doppler radar in local television. New live Doppler 7.
I'm meteorologist Jason Meyers, and here's a dirty little weather secret. Radar can't see everything, no matter how good everyone says it is.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
So here are 5 things radar can't see. Number 1, clouds. Radar beams do bounce off of everything, including the clouds, but non-precipitation items like clouds are filtered out, giving you a better image of the rain or snow that's out there. Number 2, light rain or drizzle. The raindrops are so small, they're usually missed by the radar beam. Number 3, virga. Not your astrological sign. This is rain that falls from the sky and evaporates before it even hits the ground. On radar, this will sometimes show up as rain, but in reality, it's not. Number 4, light or dry snow. Snow doesn't reflect radar beams very well, so sometimes it can be snowing even though the radar shows nothing. Number 5, tornadoes. Radar beams are way above the surface, but tornadoes occur on the ground. Radar can detect rotation within a thunderstorm, and tornado warnings are sometimes issued solely based on that rotation. But the only way to know if there's a tornado for sure is to see one spinning in person. Don't get me wrong, Doppler radar has been one of the greatest advancements in weather technology, but like weather forecasting itself, it's still not perfect.
Well, that's why we have you, because you're perfect and you know how to read it, right?
Well, thanks. Yeah, and one of those things he mentioned, tornadoes in particular, that's one of the reasons why we rely on storm spotters so much. You can't see like a physical, boom, there's a tornado. We see tornado signature on radar sometimes, but we need people with eyes. That will sometimes really help us out there. You know, it's one of the best tools my entire industry has had for decades, and we still rely on our eyes just for that sort of reason, but we need those storm spotters. Now, on a fun note, there are other things radar can see that are not weather. It's kind of the exact opposite. Have a look. In 2012, this is up north. The Duck Lake wildfire burned thousands of acres in northern Luce County in the Upper Peninsula north of Newberry, and there was a massive plume of smoke seen on satellite. This is a satellite imagery, not the radar, but that smoke was so thick it was detected on Marquette's radar. I saw it happening while I worked in Marquette at WLUC up in Marquette. Now, anything picked up on radar kind of falls into those classic green colors like a rain shower, but it was a clear day. You see there's a lot of just puffy cumulus clouds there, that plume of smoke. It was a clear day, and it kind of looked like rain on the radar, so we had to talk about that working on the news over there. Now, next image shows something we have several of in Michigan, wind farms. On calm weather days, the radar beam kind of bounces off tall structures sometimes, and wind farms stand out as like a stationary thunderstorm almost, but of course weather is never stationary. It's like, you know, my trained eyes can see that's not weather. That's a wind farm. We have one nearby in Gratiot County that is often seen on radar. This image comes from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, Michigan, of course, has 4 radars. There's Grand Rapids, Detroit, Gaylord, and Marquette, and we have one in also northern Indiana that we use too that helps us monitor Hillsdale County. Between those 5 radars, we see pretty much all corners of weather in mid-Michigan. Our weekend meteorologist, Jim Holton, likes to say that Central Michigan University is kind of like in a bubble in between all 3. So sometimes like weather disappears overhead. But
interesting.
it is interesting. We use those for everything. A friend in Oklahoma says they see bats pop up on their radar sometimes.
Really?
Swarms of bats or birds or insects, all kinds of things.
That's fascinating.